Hello, my friends. How are you doing? 2023 is coming to an end. Let's have a recap here. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about 2023. Did your AI dreams come true, or are there still wishes open that you want to have fulfilled? Where do you think AI is going in 2024? Let's have a look at my channel here a little bit on the videos I created and talk about the things that have happened, but also the outlook of what is going to happen in the future. So there we are on my channel. In recent times, I have created a little bit less videos. I want to create more videos again, and some pretty cool stuff has happened here. For example, Midjourney version 6 up here. That's pretty cool. You should check out that video. They have now AI that is closer to the prompt, which is cool. At the same time, I think they need to go a little bit faster with the development of, for example, integrating Midjourney into a web interface, giving us just more tools with in-painting, out-painting, stuff like that. So it's coming a little bit closer to what Stable Diffusion can do. And I think in general with AI, there is still a long way to go for everything. Also here, this other topic here, rotate 2D images, the image to 3D space, the image rotation space, the animation space. There is still a lot of things that can happen. We have seen a lot of progress though in the video animation area. I want to do more videos about that because I didn't dive myself too deep into that. I didn't really make videos about that, but there have been some big developments where you can get crazy good quality from that. Of course, another thing that I really like, when we go down here a little bit more, you can see here with the noise styling from Akatsuki, we have down here these IPA adapters with the workflows from Matteo. Stuff like that is beautiful. And you have realized I've made more videos about Comfy UI because AI is very dependent not just on the prompt, not just on an easy interface, that you can actually build the workflow in the way you want to have it. And that is actually important because even though AI at some point might be really good at creating amazing stuff even without us, there is no magic interface between us and the AI. We have to convey in some way what we want to do with it. Our language is not good enough for that. So we have to build a process to show the AI, I want to have specifically this. I want to have this expressiveness. And that is actually also a very important part about AI. I don't think AI anytime soon will be able to tell stories to have expressiveness like our expressiveness. Now, the reason for that is because AI is trained in its core on information. It has to analyze information to understand. But the thing is, most of what makes us human is stuff that runs between the lines. It's the small nuances. It's our understanding of things and its small expressiveness without giving any reason, because a lot of the things we do and a lot of the things how we understand and interact with the world, they are emotion. They happen in between the things. There is no words for that. There's no expressiveness for that. There's no description for that because they go beyond what you can explain. That's why we have novels and music and we have art and design and all these kind of things. They try to show us things, but they never reach it as much as the actual emotion you feel inside of you. So this kind of expression, this is what we are, to have the emotion and put emotion into things. So yeah, this is why we need that kind of process. And this is why if you want to do something that is expressive, it's becoming a little bit more complex. There has to be a process behind that and a thought behind that. Comfy UI is a way to that. It's not the solution for it, but it is a nice stepping stone on the way to find an actual expressiveness and artistic work creation through AI, with AI. But let's go back here. Oh, the inside face topic. That was crazy, to be honest. It was also fun. I really enjoyed this kind of interaction. I really enjoyed that you came together as a community and really rally up for that topic, also for the freedom. I do understand that the companies want to protect their creations because they spend a lot of money on the development and they just need to get that money back at some point. But of course, it has to be done in the right way. It has to be done in a fair way, in a democratic way, in a rightful way, and also in a way that is in balance with the community. That is an important thing. Now, here's a thing that's also kind of important about this topic. The proprietary technology is in 2024 becoming a lot more important. And you can already see things that nobody is bugged about because they have never been public. For example, Midjourney, but also Firefly from Adobe, things like that. For example, think about Disney using AI. It cannot happen on a public space with open source out there in the world, the files just flying around all over the internet, uploading the models and the workflows and stuff like that. Because think about like a movie that costs $100 million or a video game costs $100 million is years in the work. If you then suddenly lose this information and it's just public out there, people have the models to generate the same designs, they have the information of what is going to be in the game and the movies, as a lot of stuff is revealed, it's kind of killing that kind of franchise or product. That's not something companies going to do, right? And because of that, proprietary is important, but you also have to consider that because of that, because of proprietary things, we have a lot of things that we can enjoy that we really like. All the movies you watch on Netflix, all the music you listen to on Spotify or wherever, all the other things you enjoy. Well, people have to be paid for that. They want to create something amazing. If you hear people talking about the movies they create for Pixar, for Disney, for all these kind of big companies out there, right? They have a lot of passion for that. This is their life. I'm absolutely okay with paying for a nice movie and not downloading it for free, stuff like that. But I see the one side where open source is important for the development and the freedom, because this is a stepping stone for our culture, for our society. It's really, really important. But I also understand the other side where people take a lot of risk, especially financially, but also with their lives. There is like hundreds or thousands of people involved and their families, also their children, things like that. They have to have safety with their job. They have to be paid so they can pay their bills, send their children to school, feed their families. That's also important. The files are on the internet. There is people behind these files, and they also need a life that needs to be paid for, right? But let's go on here with other things that have happened. Another here, like the processes with the face mask. That was beautiful. I really like that process here. Again, with the gradient tool where you can do like magical things, stuff like that. Also these kind of applications where you can create wallpapers that are live based from AI images, and here these kind of movie scenes that involve more advanced software like DaVinci Resolve, After Effects. Things are becoming more professional. They become more complex at the same time. As you know, nothing in life is easy that is worth doing. So it is becoming more complex if you want to create something serious, artful, expressive, and especially also something that is worth money. But on the other side, there's also going to be lots and lots and lots of AI uses that are free and for the enjoyment of everybody. And this will inspire a new form of art and culture, society, and our perspective on the world. All of that is pretty amazing and beautiful. Let's go on here before I start to preach. There's so much stuff here. There's my birthday video. I have to say, personally, a little bit disappointed that it didn't get too many views. Like 3,000 is cool. It could get more. Like I would love to be more connected to my community emotionally. I don't know. For some reason I can't make that happen. I don't know why. I would like to have more closeness rather than just being a talking head on YouTube. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not the person to be. I don't know. Anyways, let's go on here with other news because there is so many cool things that have happened. Oh, the SDXL Laura. That was pretty cool artistic expression. You know, I love beautiful things. I love creative things. I love artful expression, but I also love the artistic accident where something is happening and then you find something in there, and that is beautiful. By the way, here's another topic I need to go about into the big screen. The AI negative space. I want to coin that frame. I want to coin the frame, the AI negative space. What I mean by that is to ask the AI for things it does not know. Because a lot of people focus way too much on the things AI knows. And that is cool. That is very nice. But AI has a lot of information. And because of that information, you can actually ask AI What are things that you don't know? What are things that are not there? What are things that are lacking in this information? And that is such a huge, huge step for the evolution, for the next step into research into technology. I want you to go, for example, on ChatGPT today and ask, for example, what are philosophical concepts that have never been touched? Or what are artistic ideas that could be important today? Or what are things that ways we have never looked at about the world, about ourselves, about politics, things like that, right? And AI can give you answers for that, or things that are lacking. Now, of course, you still have to research if this is just a dream of the AI or it's actually a real thing, but it can give you ideas. It can give you inspiration. And this is also what I like about this kind of LoRa is the happy accidents. They allow us to find things inside of the accidents. Because even though something might be empty in itself, on its own, you can still look at it and you can find information, knowledge, new innovation inside of that. A little bit like looking at a cloud and seeing a rabbit and say, wow, there's a nice picture in the sky. There's no picture, but inside of you, a picture has grown. Inspiration that is like making your mind blossom like a flower. That's the beautiful thing about that, about how our mind works. Okay, let's go back here and look at some other stuff. What else has happened? Wow, Swarm UI. I talked about that, but personally I've never used that. Let me know in the comments, what do you use it for? Is it useful for you? SDXL. Wow, that's a big topic. Do you like it? Do you use it? Are you a fan of that? I'm still mostly not using it myself personally. I want to experiment more with that. I will make more videos about that because I have now a way to allow you to use SDXL online for free inside of ComfUI, so you can experiment without having the hardware for that. I want to also experiment more with that. And the community AI models for XL are amazing. They can do beautiful things. Most of the time, I just don't need the resolution for that. So I still have to figure out, like, why actually use it, right? Anyways, let's go on here. Invoke. Haven't heard about them for a long time. I need to cover that. They have done more development. They have also now nodes in there that might be pretty cool. I have to cover that actually. The LoRa training. Yeah, that's a big topic too. Also with XL model training, XL LoRa training, stuff like that. Things like Roop and Reactor and stuff like that is kind of dead now because of Insight Phase and how they have changed. But now we have the IP adapter, which also can do faces in a very nice way. So the question is, like, with the IP adapter, do LoRa's become less necessary, especially if the IP adapter is becoming increasingly better with that, just like creating a style from one individual image? Or will LoRa's always be needed in a certain way? I feel like LoRa's have a certain level of complexity, especially figuring out how to integrate it with the prompt and the LoRa way. That makes it a little bit more complex to use it, and you always have to relearn how to actually use that LoRa. But I think both of them have a lot of interesting applications here. Oh, the the Apple VR headset. Well, I don't know. I'm still not a believer in that. I'm a huge believer in the Quest 3 because it's affordable. It can do pretty cool things. I don't get too much motion sickness, only when it's moving really hard. So it's much, much better than what we have seen before. The Apple headset is just too expensive. But probably they're going to bring out something that's going to be very expensive, but probably also very good. Let's say price point, I would say a price point of 1,300, I would say, for a consumer version of the Apple headset. Let's see. Oh, the LoRa from one image. I think this is kind of maybe redundant now because of the IPA adapter. Segmentation can also be very interesting. I think that could be a topic that is more interesting, becoming much bigger in 2024, especially also for video generation. That could be pretty cool to track the person and have more consistency, things like that. Upscaling for me is a huge topic because that is bringing the quality to 1.5 and can create like amazing details, amazing resolutions, especially with face detailer, with face fixing in there. You can do massive things with that. It's just really beautiful. Vector, we still have ways to go. I think even Adobe hasn't figured that out yet to create vectors with AI. I'm kind of surprised that it's so complex. But another thing that I'm a huge believer in is a combination of AI with other technologies. And I want to actually work on that, also show projects that are using that. I want to create my own projects also next year about that. And one of the important things here is like, while AI can do a lot of stuff, AI can't just do everything because some things just need other processes, especially if you think about video games, for example. You have a very fast interaction, need these controls. You need to be more in the scene and you have all these kind of reactions and actions and they have to be consistent. So AI can do a lot. It can create textures, it can create the dialogue, it can create sound effects, how actually everything works together and is a world that is alive. I think that still needs a game engine and also the design that makes it fun. I think that's a pretty difficult thing to also make the AI understand. How can you design games that are fun? Or other things like interactive elements on websites or any kind of other stuff like apps or things like that. They need a connection between what AI is and what other software can do with that, because the other software can do it better than the AI can do it at the moment. At the same time, by the way, it's really interesting to see that AI can really help us with the research of getting things better, improving technologies in ways we could never think about that. For example, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a mathematician, but matrix multiplication, I'm not even sure what it's used for, but it has been a huge puzzle for mankind, for the best mathematicians out there to get that to a high level of efficiency. And now AI came around and it made it more efficient like that. And that's crazy. That is crazy. AI can help us improve things and think in ways that we can't imagine. Now, not thinking in the human way. I know AI is not doing that. I mean problem solving by analyzing data and then giving us output, right? That's what I mean by thinking. But it can give us solutions. It can create innovation out of the data that is trained on. So when people say AI can't create something new, that is just not true. AI can absolutely create new things. Adobe Firefly is still a huge topic, I think. Not just because of Adobe Firefly, but for me, the big topic is that the companies just jump out of nowhere and suddenly they have technologies that are amazing. Like, for example, also like DALL-E was kind of dead for a long time. Nobody cared about it because the results weren't that good. And then boom, out of nowhere, they have something that is amazing. It's kind of on the level of Midjourney, but it is more capable, and just like bam, out of nowhere, this technology comes. And I am absolutely certain that a lot of companies out there work on solutions that they haven't made public yet that will blow us absolutely away in the things they can do, in the technology, in how advanced is AIs, things we don't even imagine right now. They're working on that in secrecy, and I think a lot of stuff will come out in 2024 that will just blow a lot of people away from companies we have never heard of before. The further we go back into that, I have to say a lot of stuff kind of feels ancient now. But at the same time, I feel like for some things, we haven't still found the good solutions for that on how this can actually be done. Like, for example, this 360 image creation here. There are good solutions, but they are not like amazingly good or amazingly perfect, right? And another thing here with the same characters, we have found some better solutions for that, but not something that is 100% the same character from different directions, especially not just the face, but also the clothing and everything else about that character. So it's interesting that some problems, they kind of are still a little bit stuck in what they can do now, the 2D image rotation, and then again rendering it in video AI, which I still have to make a video about. It has improved that in a lot of ways and created a lot more consistency. but it still has a long way to go. Here, the end of AI art. What has happened to that lawsuit? I have never heard about that again. Has anything come from that at all? I don't know. It was a big topic back then, and some big names have been involved in that. And since then, I think it's kind of dead silence. I think also that some of these big names now use AI for themselves because they have realized, wow, it's actually a pretty cool technology, and there's more things you can do with that. And here we have the end of last year, 2022, in AI art. Here's my AI art award project that fell flat right away in the first month, but I'm going to bring that back. Not with prizes this time because it's not a good idea, but I will bring that back in cooperation with a company to create challenges that are interesting, that are based on use cases that drive innovation in AI, because that is also one of my big goals. So one of my big dreams personally in 2024 is to be more than a tutorial creator, to actually drive innovation, build things that change the AI space. That is something I absolutely believe in. I have some concepts in my mind of what I want to do. I'm not doing it on my own, of course. I personally absolutely believe that AI can be an amazing integration in how we do things, why we do things. It's going to change the world. It's going to change art. It's going to change culture. But for that, we need to find ways to actually integrate it there, because even though we now have AI, the technologies for that, they're still a little bit all over the place. We need to find actual solutions that are built on use cases, that are built on the needs of a community, needs of different customers, things like that. I want to be part of that because I want to drive this technology forward. I think this is one of the biggest moments in mankind's history, and I want to be more than just a talking head. I actually want to be part of that information that pushes it to the next level and maybe even create some innovation on my own. I wish you all of the best for 2024. Let's have all our wishes come true, and see you next year. Bye.
Oh, you're still here. So this is the end screen. There's other stuff you can watch like this or that. It's really cool. And yeah, I hope I see you soon. Leave a like if you haven't yet. And well, yeah,